Our key resources for our business model canvas is physical resources, which could be the land, plus our hardware. Intellectual resources can be with our partnerships with the food companies, as well as software such as games and customer membership databases. Also, our new cost structure is cost-driven business structure. Also, we have a mix of variable costs and fixed costs.
So our resources, activities, and costs. We're going to go over our spreadsheet that is our metrics that matter. So we are targeting the people, software, hardware, and partners. Under people, we've estimated that we would have to have 2 customer support sections, where we'd have 5, well, basically an overarching 5 employees on schedule, where we have 2 customer support, 1 person working the snack bar, 1 making sure everything's secure and overseeing everything, and then somebody at the front desk managing sales and reception. For software, we're going to have our games that we have to take into account that we're buying. We have to take into account the internet that we're supplying, the Wi-Fi, basically, the customer data where we store our customer information and membership profiles, and then our website. For hardware, we're going to have consoles, just about 50 of them out on the floor and 5 in storage. So that would leave us with about 100 controllers in stock, 100 headphones in stock. It's about 75 gaming chairs, high quality chairs, and then we'd have about 10 routers running at a time, and 5 for backup. And then for our partners, we would be partnered with food and drink shipments with a supplier for that.
All right, and then I'm moving on to costs from partners, resources, and activities, and that's in this spreadsheet right here. So our partner costs in year 1 would be upwards from $60 to the membership that Eddie researched about with food companies that send shipments to restaurants, and that's just the membership. The cost of shipping would be free, and then the food we would just buy the food depending on how much we need for the week, and they would ship it to us, and the drinks based on what we select. Our resource costs in year 1 would be around $122,672, and that's because we have to buy all the equipment, we have to buy the hardware, we have to do all the initial costs. And so I didn't put anything down for activity costs because that's all factored into resource costs because it's the first year. So our total cost in the first year will be around $122,732. For year 2, our resource costs come down significantly because we already have all of the physical assets that we need to run the company. This $51,424,000 is taking into account replacements for hardware, as well as buying new hardware to expand the company and have a growth rate so that we can actually start making profit after a few years. And then activity costs. Now we factored some of those initial resource costs down into the cost of actually running the place. So like internet, Wi-Fi, the cost of the website, what would be to pay for food, and stuff like that. So our total cost in year 2 would come around to $78,491, and so that's like almost half as much as the initial cost. And then in year 3, our resource costs would go up a little bit, especially if we're expanding, and we know that usually products and services become more expensive over time. So a lot of the costs that we're incurring on ourselves are buying services and products from other companies that we depend on so that we can run our service based on their products. So we're taking that into consideration. And then activity costs. So our activity costs are actually one of the fixed costs that we think that we're taking into consideration. We say that we're going to have those fixed costs. So that adds up, this column here, and it comes out to $79,271. So those are like that's a very broad, we try to get as specific as we could. We're talking about how much we're looking to be paying for our resources and to operate. And we're also taking into account liabilities with these numbers, like I said before, like equipment breaking. And so with that being said, we can move on here.
So what we thought we would be able to do is pay ourselves in the first 3 years. assuming that we didn't take a loan out or do financing or anything like that. And we went out and we researched the costs of everything, including like the food, contracts, and shipping into our location, and also just the cost of accounting in general.
Results, adding the cost of initial resources and with cost of activities added up to more than we expected. So we would be in debt for 3 years, or after 3 years still. And action, we need to talk about getting initial financing and how we are going to do that.